Welcome to the Filmcast review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, or technically I believe the title is Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm going to read the plot summary of this movie from IMDb. Once a lone bounty hunter, Mandalorian Din Djarin and his apprentice Grogu embark on an exciting new Star Wars adventure. End quote. Devindra Hardawar, you have watched much of the Mandalorian TV series. I will say
all of it.
All of it. I'll say Jeff and I watched like a few episodes and then we pieced out of it pretty much at the same time, I think. But yeah, having seen the show, right? This is the first Star Wars film in theaters in 7 years. What did you think of Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu?
I think it's fine. It's perfectly fine, but not great. Like the thing about this show, the thing that made The Mandalorian so interesting was that, hey guys, you know what's great about Star Wars? Big battles, shooter fights, spaceship chases, all that fun stuff. The Mandalorian brought that to your TV screen on Disney Plus, and it was kind of amazing for a while. Like to have that like weekly Star Wars adventure, which is not really something we had before. There were the animated shows, but I was just never really into them, and they didn't have the scale of like big live action Star Wars. So that's what The Mandalorian did well. It also gave us Baby Grogu, which felt like, I think at first, a very cloying attempt at just being like, hey, love us. It's a cute baby Yoda. What more do you want from us? How could you hate Baby Yoda? Look at that face. So it felt really manipulative, I think, early on. But the show itself was like fine and like delivered like Star Wars adventures every week. This movie is just more of the show. And it's kind of baffling to me. Like you have to look at the history of what happened here so that Jon Favreau had written the 4th season of The Mandalorian. It was ready to go. The writer's strike happened, and Lucasfilm was like, maybe it's put a pin on that. Maybe we need a movie for him. So he had to go back and write a whole new story to continue the adventures of the Mandalorian, and this is what we got. And it feels like a compressed, 2 or 3 episode arc of the series that doesn't do anything special for the big screen. Like there are some more, they shoot on location for some more things. There's a bigger budget. But it's still the same thing.
Jon Favreau has said that this is the first Star Wars movie that was made in Los Angeles. So I just want to be clear about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Suck it, Tunisia.
That's where they make the TV show. That's why it's in Los Angeles, right?
I'm just
saying.
I'm just saying. You said they shot things on location. It's like they did not go to like
exotic. There are beaches. There are beaches in the show. Yeah.
You guys clearly don't remember when Luke Skywalker went to the Man's Chinese Theater in that one movie.
Yeah. But no, it feels like you're outdoors more. Like it just feels like they like attempted to do a little more location wise and budget.
It's a little more ambitious than an episode than a couple episodes of the TV show.
A little more, right? But like story wise, it's fun. It's a perfectly fine adventure of the Mandalorian and Grogu. I love Grogu. I would die for Grogu. He's a cute little creature. This movie, if you have not watched the show or if you've tapped out like within 2 episodes like you guys, you probably have no idea what the fuck is going on. Because it's just like, well, why is it used to be Grogu was just like a thing he was carrying, but now Grogu is kind of like his son, kind of is his son now in the lore of the series. Why are they working for the New Republic? Because he was
to
like,
be fair, they do explain this in the opening text, not crawl, but just opening text.
And to be even more fair, none of it fucking matters.
It doesn't really. It doesn't really matter. Everything in this show, this just feels like here is character template of guy with the rockets and the guns, and he's going to go on this fetch quest. Baby Grogu is very cute. He gets another fetch quest to do in the series, which somehow involves the family of Boba Fett, okay, because you get to tie back into the original stuff. But no, it doesn't feel like anything really matters that much. Like it feels like TV level stakes because characters are not changing that much. They're occasionally like there is a showpiece time for Grogu, but it just feels really, really low stakes. There are some cool set pieces, but also for a thing like this, I can't just have our guys fighting CG monsters the whole time. Like you got to give me something more than a CG monster or a CG assassin counterpart or something. Jon Favreau knows how to make good action. It's very clean. I think this movie is more fun than something like a Solo. Certainly not as disappointing as Rise of the Skywalker, but it is disappointing because just like I feel like they had an opportunity to do more here by bringing the Mandalorian to the big screen, and they just didn't really take it.
Jeff Canada. Your thoughts on Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu?
Well, Dave, I guess you could say my thoughts on Mandalorian and Grogu are best summed up in the form of a limerick.
Let's hear it, Jeff.
As a first ever big screen Star War, there's still nothing you ain't seen before. If you're only 9, the action's just fine. But I found myself hoping for more. I basically
you took your kid to see this one, right, Jeff?
I took my kid to see it, and I watched it through his eyes to a large extent. First Star Wars movie he'd ever seen on the big screen in a movie theater.
Special.
He was excited. It was special. He was excited. He requested to come with me.
Yeah.
We went. We saw it in IMAX at a press screening, and we were walking out of the movie, and they were giving away little posters. Mandalorian and Grogu posters, and he's like, "Oh!" and he ran back and grabbed the poster after seeing the movie.
Right,
big deal. I think. And he said, "Dad, when does this come out on Disney Plus?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably like 3 days from now." And
I can't wait to watch it 100 times, Dad.
That's what he said. He's like, "I can't wait to watch it again."
Well, you've got 3 whole seasons of TV shows to watch too. So yeah,
it did the job, right? It did the job, and. So I can't hate it as much as I might otherwise, simply for that fact alone.
But if you'd seen it with like me instead of your son,
that would make me hate anything.
With a black heart who cannot feel joy anymore, you'd have a very different opinion of it. Yeah.
So then what would your reaction be, Jeff?
It would be like, I need to take a shower. I basically agree with Devindra right down the line. The tragedy of this movie, like, I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to. It is pretty much nonstop action. Yeah, and the action is not bad. If you're, especially if you're super into CG visual effects, but it just does not aspire to do anything. It doesn't intend to do anything. It is not essential in any way, shape, or form, and it doesn't want to be. It is as close. George Lucas has been very upfront that a lot of his inspiration for the original Star Wars movie, New Hope, was the old Flash Gordon serials, and I think this concept is closer to that template than Star Wars has ever been, right? And it's a Western, it's lone wolf and cub. It wears its references on its sleeve, Mandalorian and Grogu, as a show and as a film. And, it is basically, as classic a television series premise as you get. It's Gunsmoke. It is these old Western adventure TV shows where you could watch an episode and he's going to be fighting somebody else next week. Yeah. He's going to be doing something else fun, and you're going to get see him do his fun thing that you like to see him do. And he's going to get the bad guys, hunting down the bad guys. And this movie is just more of that. Like, hey, is it fun seeing him shoot flame from his flamethrower wristband? Hell yeah. Is it fun seeing a jetpack shoot around? Yes, woohoo, let's do it. Are the humorous moments cute and funny? And, we walked out and my son goes, "Dad, I'm going to tell you my top 3 favorite moments of the movie." All of them were the little Babu Fricks, I know they have a species name.
I don't care what their names are. They're all Babu Fricks.
They're the Babu Fricks. It's the Babu Fricks. And, it's the Babu Fricks. It's all the cute, funny moments is the ones that he was buzzing about. Not even the big explosions. There's a lot of big explosions. So, it's doing what it needs to do on a certain level. It just doesn't aspire to do anything else. It is not pushing the universe of Star Wars forward in any way. It is not. It is treading on nostalgia. I mean, we'll get to it in spoilers, but I loathe every single thing about the Hutts in this movie. It is so dumb on the face of it, in my opinion.
Did you really need Jeremy Allen White for that too? Because he doesn't even sound like Jeremy. It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody.
Jeremy Allen White.
I mean, there is. Unfortunately, if you watch A New Hope on Disney Plus right now, you will see the special edition, which we did, which includes the deleted scene of Han Solo encountering Jabba the Hutt before he gets on the Millennium Falcon in Tatooine. And it looks like a butt hole. It is so bad.
Yeah.
That is exactly how the Hutts look in this movie. They look like 1999's special edition Star Wars, whatever year that was. I don't know. I just pulled that on my
It was late
butthole,
90s, yeah.
And if you watch Return of the Jedi and you see Luke Skywalker walk into Jabba's palace, and then the shot pans to Jabba the friggin' Hutt, it is moody and scary and interesting and textured, and it's real, and he's there, and he's slimy, and it's like it is affecting. Like, this creature is something, man. And as a kid, it's just like, what is that slug thing? Having Jeremy Allen White just like talking in English as it's Pizza the Hut, dude. Do everybody remember Pizza the Hut? It is a parody of Jabba the Hutt. It's a parody of these characters. They have completely divorced anything from that Return of the Jedi version of Jabba the Hutt. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to go on that rant, but that is it offends me so deeply how what they've done to Jabba the Hutt and the notion of that like scary, ominous gangster, space creature, alien thing that is so special.
I think beyond that too, Jeff, it's also the aesthetics of the movie, right? Like when you're watching Return of the Jedi, you believe that is a physical creature in that space.
Because
right?
it is.
Because it is. I mean, not creature, but it's a physical object. At no point watching this movie did I believe those things are actually there. Like,
and this movie throws so many digital creatures at you. So many. I mean, there's scene after scene after scene of like, here's 5 new ones and here's 6 more new ones. And they're all just CG animated, like whatever. Some of them look really good. There are scenes in this movie, I think, that look really good. And there are others that look not so good. I think every moment of a Hutt in this movie is really terrible.
Hutt is butt.
Hutt is
butthole. Yeah. And so anyway, I am very conflicted about this movie because like it's just not important enough to even get that riled up over. And it made my son have a good time and sort of enjoy Star Wars, and it hits those beats. But like, even in the fun action sequences, there's a lot of like, why would they even do that? What's that? It's all just like, don't think about this too much. We're just having a good time here, buddy. Look, there was some AT-ATs lying around. Why don't we throw them in that scene? Like, it doesn't make sense that they would be here, but okay, we like AT-ATs. Doesn't everybody love an AT-AT? Let's do it. Like that's kind of the mentality of Star Wars now. It feels like with the creators of like, well, we got these things lying around. Let's put them in here because people love seeing that. And that's this whole movie, basically.
Yeah. People love Sigourney Weaver. We've never seen Sigourney Weaver in Star Wars before. Let's bring her in. Is she bored? Is she half asleep? Doesn't matter. Keep her in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a hard movie to fall asleep to because something explodes every 15 seconds. But it is a sleepwalk through Star Wars, in my opinion. And it's a bummer.
Do you ever live in fear that your son will discover your very public movie reviews of things that you guys have watched together, Jeff? I'm just curious.
Yeah. My father's been lying to me the whole time.
Do you seek out things your dad has done? I don't know. I don't think that would happen.
If there was a history of my dad
if my dad had 850 podcast episodes, I would be listening to them.
Really?
I would in fact do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
maybe you will.
This is like your equivalent. This is like your equivalent of an OnlyFans account. It's like, don't let my child see this.
Well, but what I'm saying is I love the experience. Like, that's why I can't be that mad at this movie, even though I am that mad at this movie. Like, I can't really be that mad at this movie because
this is the neutered version of Jeff's criticism of the movie.
I could have really gone.
You could have really tore into it.
It's just not that. The thing is, it's not even. It's not. I don't feel the same way I felt about Rise of Skywalker, right? Because like this movie is a trifle. It is a garnish. It is. It's the mint
it's like
on
the
your
piece
pillow.
of parsley next to the steak, right?
It's like
or whatever it is.
We don't even expect you to remember this 10 minutes after you leave. The filmmakers don't even expect you to remember this 10 minutes after you leave the theater. It is as a cotton candy a movie as could possibly be made. It is insubstantial by definition. Like, it has no desire to nourish you on any level or push this franchise into new interesting places. It just sits there exploding every 15 minutes, and you're like, oh, hey, well, that's fun. Look at the fireworks.
Well, there's an explosion, and then Baby Grogu does something cute, and you're like, oh, yeah. We get you.
I will just say that I largely agree with you guys. So this is yet another review where we're mostly on the same page. I think, to me, watching this movie as let's just say, fairly new to the world of Mandalorian, right? So I'm not like, I don't have a lot of like Mandalorian expectations. I think the biggest issue with this movie as a standalone film is the Mandalorian himself as a protagonist. Now, I have posted I've made like a video about this, and some people are like saying, well, Grogu, actually, no, David, you're wrong. Grogu's the protagonist, to which I say,
again, very little changes.
He's even
there.
less compelling than the Mandalorian, I would argue.
Yes, that's true.
Point to a character arc for either of these people, in this movie.
Like, the Mandalorian character, it's not even that he doesn't have an arc in this movie. He barely encounters any challenges in this film.
And he doesn't have a personality, is the thing, too. So it's like, it's not even...
I understand that's like partially by design. That's like kind of what the origin of the character is. But then you have to ask, like, do you want this guy to be headlining the first Star Wars movie in theaters in 7 years? And I think the answer is no. The character is is not compelling at all. He encounters obstacles in the movie, but he never needs to make any interesting decisions. There is one decision he makes early on about who he's going to trust, but we don't see him or hear him navigate that decision or like understand what the trade-offs for him about that decision are. He does not make any interesting decisions at all. As far as I can tell, he does not grow at all emotionally or spiritually.
Grogu kind of does, but it's very minimal.
You know, during the course of the movie. And so it is not even like, oh, they tried to have the Mandalorian have this arc and it didn't go very well. It's like they didn't even try at all.
That's
It's like they didn't even feel like that was not even an important part of not even just this movie, but a movie in general.
Yeah, a simple thing they could have done, by the way, which the series like really built up to. It's Pedro Pascal under that armor. Let us see his beautiful face. I understand it's a defining part of the character and
That's
his
right.
belief system, whatever.
Well,
Bad guy takes his helmet. Bad guy takes his helmet at the beginning of the movie. He doesn't have it for the rest of the movie. We get to at least see Pedro Pascal's face.
He spends.
Jeff,
fair to say
5 minutes.
It is fair to
5 minutes.
It is fair to say most of the film he is wearing his helmet. Okay, so it's like
95% of this movie he has the helmet.
And that's tough unless you're a movie called Dread starring Carl Urban. You know, like
and you're showing his like lower lip frowning. That at least expresses something. This guy is the Rocketeer head. You know, it's like there's nothing there.
Yeah, Jeff, what are you gonna say? Jeff, go ahead.
My favorite part of this, though, you know, Pedro Pascal has famously said that he saw himself in the Wonder Woman movie and vowed never to shave his mustache again.
That's right.
He hated how he looked so much.
Yes.
It is so hilarious to me that in the context of this movie, a man who never removes his helmet also somehow meticulously shaves his mustache. Like he's grooming a mustache under there for no one.
It's called himself, Jeff, when he goes to sleep every night
for self-love, Jeff.
Yeah. So, sorry, Jeff. I didn't know we only took care of our bodies for other people.
It's
sorry,
very
Jeff.
funny to me. I wear a mask all the time. Also, dude, like let's make sure that stash is
believe-
tight, baby.
There was a scene in the show of him like shaving, or at some point there's a
Was
scene in
that-
the show where he takes off the helmet. You don't see the face, but he's doing like face stuff, and it may have even been grooming. Yeah.
So I think just terrible protagonist. It's as a result, it's a very uninteresting film. And I think that there is a lot of spectacle. There's action scenes, and they are okay. You know, they're not. Some of them are, as you said, better than others. There might be like one or two good ones and like a bunch of okay ones. But what is there? You know, you can do a movie with no character growth or anything like that.
It's called John Wick.
Well, if your action is like top of the line, like incredible, mind blowing, and this does not rise to that level. You know, it is not good enough to overcome these storytelling flaws, in my opinion. And then
it's also really friggin' long. This movie.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours long.
It's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's over 2 hours long, and you feel it. Something we have to mention, by the way. This week I saw a movie directed by Jon Favreau, in which a sort of like anti-hero masked character with a jetpack goes around trying to do good. But enough about Iron Man. How many of these movies can he make?
Yeah, that was a much better version of the same story. I'm just going to say also, I think that I am sad that this is how they chose to reintroduce Star Wars to the big screen. Like, I think if their intention was let us bring more people back into the fold, this was a bad movie to do it with. And I'm curious what happens when Starfighter releases next year. We only have as we're recording this, we only have initial box office results for Mandalorian. It's looking like it's going to make about as much as Solo made in its opening weekend, which was widely considered a failure. So I am curious, like, what they're going to learn from this. Probably all the wrong lessons, but either way, I think I'm the most bummed out of the three of us watching this movie. So it's not horrible. Like, people are saying this is the worst Star Wars film ever. I don't actually know if I agree with that.
No,
it's not as bad as Solo. Solo is straight trash.
Really?
Solo was trash. Rise of Skywalker.
Solo. Jeez.
People keep trying to recover Solo. I remember that movie just being very, very boring and badly made. At least the action is like interesting in this one. Do want to shout out Ludwig Göransson's score for this movie.
I mean,
talk about film scores.
This is a score that is so much
stuff.
This is a score that is so much better than the movie that it is in. It's like wow.
Dude,
every time that score comes on, it's like, that is badass.
I love that they leaned into the synthy sort of synth wave kind of.
He does it a couple of times.
Like 80s style. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the score is great and lends it this gravitas, and the movie does not rise to that level, sadly. So all that said, let's get to spoilers for Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu starting right now. All right. So which one of you had stuff about the ending you want to discuss?
There's nothing. Well, what is there to Here's the thing about the spoiler section. There is nothing to spoil because there's nothing surprising about this movie. Nothing surprising happens that you can actually spoil.
I think that there is a cool sequence when the Mandalorian is incapacitated. Yeah. And
the
Grogu
movie,
needs to
that
go
part
off and
where
have
the movie grinds to a halt.
Really? I thought it was kind of cool, like seeing
that was
Grogu
like the
do his
one
own thing.
inventive thing the movie gets to do.
It's like, oh wow, this is unlike most Star Wars stuff we've seen.
It's so we can get the little cane that came with the Yoda action figure, and for that the Kenner Yoda action figure came with a little cane. We can give that cane to Grogu, and then we can have him make the little hut like we saw Yoda living in on Dagobah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason those scenes
very
exist.
cute. It's very custom of his people.
When he does his little patting on the hut, it's very, very cute.
It's all very.
How Grogu moves is actually interesting. Like, and the Grogus and the Babu Fricks are the best part of this movie. And a lot of people have been pointing out that the movie feels like two episodes of the show stuck together. And the second episode, the second half of this movie, is so much better than the first half, in my opinion. And that is because you get the fun Babu Fricks, and you get Grogu having a little bit of something to do, and the way they move is very Henson. I was talking to Carboni on my other show about this, and we agreed that like the Babu Fricks are like as close to Dozers from Fraggle Rock. Yeah. They're very Henson. The way they move is Henson. The way they do the jokes very Henson jokes where the camera has moved on to the next part of the scene, but the Babu Fricks are still talking off camera, and it's always funny. It's always funny to do that gag where like, okay, we're moving on. And they're like, okay, see you later. It's the extended audio. Like they don't know that their scene is over yet. It's very The Muppet Show to me.
The name of the species is called Anzelin, which
I know.
among many things, this movie will never tell you. Who's the co-pilot who the Mandalorian relies on? His buddy for all his adventures. They never say. Maybe he vaguely mentions his name.
Doesn't matter.
Towards the end of the movie. Doesn't matter. That dude.
Yeah. Finish it, Devindra.
But that dude is voiced by frickin' Steve Bloom, like a notable voice actor. You hear his voice and be like, that's fucking Spike Spiegel in Star Wars manning another spaceship. Like, that's cool. That is a cool thing. We don't even need to mention that character's name, really.
I will say that the seeming lack of interest in introducing any characters does make this feel like this was just supposed to be season 4 of The Mandalorian, right? Like in a sort of big tentpole release like this, you typically be like, hey, who is this guy? Like have an audience surrogate come in and be like, somebody's walking Mandalorian through the camp, like Mandalorian's walking someone through the camp and somebody's asking Mandalorian, like, who's this guy? Why is Grogu with you? Blah, blah, blah. And explaining some of this. And none of that happens because I think they just assume that you know it all. And also ultimately it doesn't really matter at the end.
I think the second point is the more important one. Like, none of it matters. None of it matters. Devindra, you said, like, if you go into this movie and you haven't seen anything, you might be completely lost. No, because I think we've gotten to the point as an audience. Marvel has done this too. I'm not going to not blame them, but you just sort of accept it. You're like, okay, the little Yoda looking guy is on his shoulder the whole movie. Okay, there's nothing that relies upon your knowledge of any of that. You can just accept it a priori and let the movie do its thing. And its thing is just, let's blow stuff up every 15 minutes. Let's have another moment where we're zooming through space or shooting something, or it's like, and I know a lot of movie critics said that about the first Star Wars in the 70s.
Yes.
But this is really that. And it really has nothing to say. This movie has nothing to contribute.
Yeah. I just rewatched A New Hope with my daughter, and like, it is a lot of that movie, you are just kind of wasting time, but it does also take its time to build the world and build some mystery.
Yeah.
And I don't think this movie, for its 2-hour and 20-minute length, it rarely does that. The only time we get to do that is that whole section with Grogu, like where he gets to kind of, okay, I got to deal with this on my own now. Like, I'm a kid.
You kind
now
of
I have to
learn a
take care of
little
my
bit
parents.
about how Grogu would think in a way that you wouldn't otherwise.
What are
that
the
is vaguely
stakes?
interesting.
What happens if we don't do any of the things that happen in this movie? What happens?
I mean,
I'm
Mando
not disagreeing.
dies.
Yeah, I mean, it is very
Mando,
funny.
your father figure dying is kind of a big one. Like, I felt stakes in that moment, but not during the fights.
Yeah, I mean, but like his quest,
right.
Like, we don't have any stakes as to what's the downside of not doing the cards. My favorite part, by the way, is when he's like, this guy, and he holds up the card that has no picture on it as evidence of that he's got to be attacking that guy. It's like,
by the way, that is a terrible way to is that what the Rebels or the New Republic is doing? Like, we've printed the set of cards, we're going to hand them out to bounty hunters. Go chase that guy.
That's what the U.S. government did.
It's true. One of our not great governments, but it's so video gamey, and this is something Filoni and Favreau have done so many times. Like, you're doing a fetch quest, you're doing some complete the mystery thing to like progress the plot along, and it is so like just awful. It's so clunky. Don't they realize that? It looks bad to have Sigourney Weaver wave cards around and be like, go get that guy. We don't know who that guy is, but go get him.
We're supposed to care deeply, I think, about Rada the Hutt. I think the stakes are entirely about wanting Rada the Hutt to be okay. And I just don't. Like, at no point do I give a crap about that character. It's ridiculous. It's
Well, maybe it's because he looks so much like Jabba, Jeff, and you should check your biases. That's something you should consider.
Maybe he wants to just leave the crimes of his past behind him and start a whole new life. Maybe he's the new Hope.
Too much baggage.
It's just so ridiculous to have a character that looks like that have a scene where you are like having this heart to heart. It just steals away any kind of suspension of disbelief. You're just watching this CG character whose mouth moves weird and looks insubstantial in every way.
Right.
Have this kind of like silly, he's talking English. He's just, it's so bad.
I will say that going back to the Sigourney Weaver of it all, there's this scene at the beginning where she sits him down and it's like, hey, we got to find this guy because they're up to this stuff building the Imperial. Literally, let's never talk about it again.
Yeah.
Literally, let's never bring it up again because it's completely unimportant whatsoever.
But we get to see her in full X-Wing pilot garb, so I guess it was all worth it.
Yes.
Again,
also, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni in there flying one of those X-Wings as well.
Dave Filoni gets two cameos in this movie.
2 cameos. He gets to wear his hat in the bar scene.
Gets to wear that hat.
Sigourney Weaver is in a frickin' X-Wing. Again, seems like she wants to get the hell out of there. Like she's like, bring me back to Avatar. Is this what Star Wars is? I want to go back to my water tank.
Somebody drown me. Get James Cameron over here to drown me again.
I will say my favorite moment from the movie, where I like genuinely laughed, was they had extricated Mandalorian from the Hutt Palace, and they're running through the woods, and they get to the ship. And the ship is like this big. It's like tiny. Funny. It's like the size of a bread box. And he realizes,
what are you thinking?
I can't go with you.
And Grogu is too stupid to understand basic size requirements. Grogu is still like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What is the issue here?
He barely has object permanence, apparently. But yeah, and so I genuinely laughed. I was like, that is some good visual humor right there. So
my favorite was trying to fit him in the much too small hut and bonking his head over and over.
His head on it.
Very funny.
This is the level of quality that the movie aspires to.
These are the best moments of the movie.
Are the best moments.
It really should have been.
He's bonking his head. He's bonking
his head repeatedly. It should have been Grogu and the Mandalorian, right? Like camera focuses on Grogu babbling like a baby, eating stuff. Mandalorian's off in the background on adventures. Camera only on Grogu.
That would have been at least like
that's all we want.
That would have been like an interesting like film experiment, right?
Yeah. All through the perspective of Grogu at Grogu level. Yeah.
Right.
Like an Ozu movie or something.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing.
Could have been. Any other thoughts on Star Wars: The Mandalorian? And
There's
Grogu,
no good villain, like for a Star Wars movie. There's actually not like a good defining villain in this. Like the evil bounty hunter is like a thing. By the way, never actually named again. Just like big, tall, lanky bounty hunter.
Yeah,
dude.
the guy with the Raiden hat, right?
Was super cool. Gets super cool fights. And I think like is a character that has appeared in the series or something. Like
Endo,
he is,
I think is his name, right? Endo, the bounty hunter.
He is better than Mando. Like he has bested Mando many times.
EMBO.
Yeah, Embo. But it lacks a defining real villain because the Hutts again, I can't take them seriously. Like I was never scared of Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi, but he was at least like an interesting weird character. These CG turds are not.
CG turds is a good way to describe it.
I will say one of the most terrifying ideas in the original Star Wars movies was that I think the Sarlacc pit, right? The idea that you could be digested for like 100 years slowly and
1,000 years.
Or 1,000 years, right? And I don't believe that would actually be possible because of how life works. But that was a scary idea. So the idea that they're going to torture, first of all, wow, they really flipped on a dime there, right? Like we're going to kill him painlessly, but now he's going to be tortured for like 300 years. Like, whoa, that's a really. There's no middle ground there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the Hutts are not reasonable people. They're not really known for that.
So you say. Anyway, okay. I guess the last thing before we close, right? Which is just to reiterate a point that we discussed earlier. I do think I just don't know where this leaves Star Wars at this point, right? Like.
Yeah, nothing matters. It doesn't matter.
Starfighter is going to be a standalone, no future franchise, no previous. It's going to be completely standalone. And as far as I can tell, there are no other like imminent Star Wars projects. There's stuff that's in the works and in development, and but like I don't know that there's anything else like super imminent coming. Certainly not in the next year or two.
It's a weird place for it to be because it's both Lucasfilm and Marvel are facing the same dilemma. They overplayed their hand. They had a great decade plus of like movies and like some TV, and then the TV kept dragging them down. So creatively, like they're just left empty now, and I wonder what they're gonna do. Like Jeff, you were wondering like what will push Star Wars forward, and I'm gonna say it because I have to say it every goddamn time. The Acolyte did it. The Acolyte did it. For say what you will about that show or the plot or whatever, it tried to do something. So the stats I keep seeing, like people keep going back to watch The Acolyte after watching all these other new Disney series. It has like stayed at like a high level among their like most watched shows. At some point, Jeff, just take a gander over at The Acolyte, because I do think it does some cool things. I know you didn't like it much, Dave, but it does cool things.
It's terrible.
And Star Wars should dare to try something new. Would you rather watch The Acolyte or The Mandalorian again, Dave?
I'd rather watch Andor, frankly.
Sure. But it's again, Andor was such a specific case.
I agree with you, Devindra. You know, this is the thing is, even though I thought The Acolyte was very poorly made as a show, and like from a storytelling wise, a complete disaster, I still am disappointed that it failed, because it's like it was very different than anything else, and Star Wars fandom seems to reject anything that is not what they've already seen before.
That's basically it.
That
like,
is putting you in a death spiral as a franchise. So I think that when I saw when I heard the Acolyte was canceled and Skeleton Crew is probably not coming back, I was like, oh wow, Star Wars is in a terrible place. And
but there's going to be more Ahsoka, which is a series which is bound to like Dave Filoni's mythology of everything, which is a series. So it's impenetrable. It's like it's like when you walk into a comic book store or like a gaming store, right? And the nerds are like having their conversations and they never let you in. And it's a bit like it's going to an unfriendly geek shop of some kind. And that's kind of what his stories feel like. Sure, you could go back to the beginning, watch all his shit to get on it, but even then, I don't know if that's even going to be worth it. So yeah, I hope Star Wars finds
Ahsoka is
going
to end with season 2, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
So it's. I know there's like a Rey movie and James Mangold and Damon Lindelof went out and talked about what some of the challenges that he's been having, but I just feel like this is a bad movie to reintroduce Star Wars to the general audience, and B, I don't know where this leaves Star Wars. It still looks quite bleak to me moving forward. Again, Starfighter could change everything. Starfighter comes out. It's a massive hit. Sean Levy's like, okay, I lied. I'm going to do 3 of these. You know, like,
oh God.
Everything could change next year. But like right now at this moment we're in, it's like, wow, this is bleak. Like I forgot. I don't see any future for this franchise, really. You know?
Well, the thing is, like, this movie serves to be like, bring in people like Jeff's son. I wanted to bring my daughter to this, but the screening was late and she didn't want to like leave home to do it. But she wants to see this movie. So like this could activate a whole new generation of kids, and then maybe they could go back and watch the originals. Maybe it's weird because this movie's a little scary and a little extra violent at times, and the Mandalorian show is the Mandalorian murdering folks like in cold blood in ways that they tried to make Han Solo not do in the first movie. So it is more cold-blooded and a little more adult, but this movie could help encourage a whole new generation of Star Wars fans.
I just wish it had any question, anything that leads someone to walk out of the theater and go, oh, what else could I check out?
But your son is eager. Your son is eager
to watch this again.
He is primed to go off and do more. So like I just watched A New Hope with my daughter, and she's like, "So what happened to Darth Vader? He's just kind of spiraling off into space. Is he okay?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you will see. You will see what happened to Darth Vader, my child." There is still so much Star Wars to discover. There is the original trilogy. I'm kind of interested in doing the prequel trilogy with my kid too, because like, for as much as like, Phantom Menace is like a messy film that's way too long, there's really good shit in there. And those scores are great. So like just the Star Wars experience, Star Wars has always been, for the longest time, has been kind of messy. I'm still excited and like going back and exploring stuff with my kids.
For as much as we've been sort of complimentary about the action beats in Mandalorian and Grogu, there's not a single one that touches any action sequence in Phantom Menace. And I don't even like that movie.
Yeah. In Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, like they all have good lightsaber battles. They have good action.
I'm going to put this out there. I don't even think this touches Rise of Skywalker's action sequences.
Yeah.
And Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, terrible film, but it had an epic scale to it and an incredible look to it that this movie does not replicate. I know you guys think that this movie is better than Rise of Skywalker, and I think probably technically
I said
that's
it's
true.
less disappointing than Rise of Skywalker.
That's probably technically
like,
true, but like
that's
if you
the
go
thing.
and just, we talked earlier in the podcast about watching movies without any audio. If you just put Rise of Skywalker on the screen with no audio, it looks incredible.
The big lightsaber fight in the rain.
Yeah,
cool,
the rain
cool
on
shit.
the ship.
that
they
leap
go to
that
that
she
desert.
does over the ship. Yeah, that's
jumping over the
incredible.
ship, the desert planet, all the stuff on the desert planet. This movie does not look incredible, in my opinion.
No.
It looks okay. It looks decent at times, but it does not look incredible.
Agreed.
And that is a disappointment as well. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Star Wars. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. Two things. First is, in my opinion, and I know I'm crotchety old guy now, but best thing that ever happened to Star Wars is nothing for 20 years. That's the best thing that ever happened to it.
That is real old nerd lore.
I know.
Just don't touch my shit.
It's not don't touch my shit. It's like it grows in estimation in your imagination because it just was this perfect thing in amber. Whatever. I know.
That's your imagination. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the best thing for your enjoyment of Star Wars, maybe, because there's nothing to disappoint
Nobody
you.
broke
But
it.
to actually push the franchise forward, you got to make shit. You got to do shit. Unfortunately. Yeah.
The other thing is at some point maybe we should have the conversation of who is the greatest franchise actor of all time, because I think Sigourney Weaver now she was probably in the discussion before, now it must be in the discussion because we have Alien, we have Ghostbusters, we have Avatar, and we have Star Wars now that she
I thought you were
exists in.
asking who is the best actor in Star Wars.
No.
I was like,
who is the actor that has because I think Hugo Weaving makes a case, right?
Matrix and Lord of the Rings and Marvel, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And there was like somebody else that I always talk about in this conversation.
I'm going to say Zoe Saldana as well.
Zoe Saldana, yeah. And it's a fun thing to have, like, who for the franchise actors, who is the most important.
Most prolific or important? Because I don't feel like Sigourney Weaver is particularly important in this movie.
Well, she exists she now exists in these universes. And these universes are big. So I don't know. I think that's a fun, like, who is the most sort of franchise actor? That's a good question. Conversation.
Good question.
All right. Despite everything we have just said, at the end of the day, it is really impressive that Jon Favreau made a movie. Thank you so much for watching this video of the Filmcast. Check out these other videos that we have available, and be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get other videos from us in the future.
You can also go to thefilmcast.com to catch all of our audio podcast versions of all of our episodes.
And support this podcast at patreon.com/filmpodcast, where you can sign up for ad-free episodes and exclusive After Darks.
Thanks so much to everyone who makes the Filmcast possible.